guess at a young age, I knew I was an addict, but I didn't really understand anything about it. I just knew that I partied more than anybody else, or it was go hard or go home, all high, no low, no middle ground. And the more I became aware of that, the harder my addiction became, because I wasn't in denial anymore. It took till I was 40 years old to actually walk through the doors of recovery. And I went to a treatment center and then a long-term recovery home for a year. And it was the hardest thing I ever did, leaving my home, my career, going to a bed with a dresser and 8 other women. I learned a lot from that, though, and I have to carry it through with me for the rest of my life. It gets easier every day, but what I've realized is, the biggest thing I've realized about this, and I like to share, is that it wasn't hard. Yes, it was hard putting down the drugs, but that's not the hardest part. You think, okay, I'll just put down the drugs and I'm cured. Surprise, it doesn't work that way. Then we have to deal with our personalities, and the thing I found is I didn't really even know who I was or how to deal with my emotions, and I'm still working on that. I guess when in our addiction, we numb everything out. So when the drugs are gone, we have to deal with anger, hurt, sadness, happiness, and that's been the hardest part for me, is realizing that this is going to be a daily work in progress. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. Whatever it is that's going to help you get through it, cling to it. And it was my son, and but now I'm doing it for myself, because I want to show my son what a good life we can have, and raise him with the morals and the ethics that I was raised with. I thought if I could just tell him these things, he'd learn, but he has to learn through osmosis and see his mom walk the walk. So it's a daily grind. I've grown, my self-esteem has, grown back. I've learned to be kinder to myself. But when I first walked through those doors of recovery, I hated myself and I hated everybody. And I was very, very, very angry. So it feels so good to have more control over my life. And it's a work in progress. Sometimes it's really overwhelming. But I know that if I do all the steps and I stay clean each day, that it only gets better, because there can't be anything worse than being in active addiction. I've done a lot of things in my life and accomplished a lot of goals. I'm very goal-oriented. But the biggest thing I've accomplished is getting clean. It's been the hardest thing, and it will be the hardest thing ongoing, but it's the best thing I've ever done, and it feels great to be alive and be present. It is possible. There was times where I thought there was no hope at all. Yes, I'm sitting here now and eyes wide open, saying, yeah, it is possible. And it's worth it. Especially if you have children, it's just, you've only got one shot at raising your children, and I want my son to be proud of me.